Hey everyone, welcome back. You know how we love to do deep dives on this show, and today we are diving deep into the idea of decluttering.
Oh, decluttering, everyone's favorite.
Well, maybe not favorite, but definitely something I think we could all use a little bit more of,
Well, I
especially after the holidays, right?
for sure, for sure. Feeling a little bit cluttered myself after all those decorations.
Exactly. So we're looking at this book, Declutter Your Life, How Organization Leads to Inner Peace. Intriguing title, right?
Yeah.
I mean, can a tidy sock drawer actually lead to a more peaceful you?
That's the big question. And this book really digs into it, looking at the connection between clutter and stress, the surprising benefits of being organized, some practical steps to actually declutter, and even some real-life examples to get us inspired.
Well, I am ready to be inspired because I feel like my brain is a little cluttered just thinking about all the stuff I need to declutter. Let's start with the basics. What does this book say about the link between all that clutter and stress? We all know that feeling, right? Like you walk into a room and it's just a mess and you just feel this wave of overwhelm. Why is that?
Yeah, you just want to turn around and walk right back out. Well, this book talks about something called visual noise, right? So every single item in a cluttered space, it's basically like it's calling out to you. It's demanding your attention.
So it's like a bunch of people all talking to you at the same time. No wonder it's so stressful.
Exactly. It's sensory overload, and your poor brain is just trying to process it all in this constant bombardment. The book says that it leads to mental fatigue, trouble concentrating, and even increases those pesky stress hormones.
So basically, our brains are working overtime just trying to deal with all the stuff around us. Okay, that makes sense. But so what? Does it really matter if our brains are a little tired?
Well, it's more than just feeling a little tired. This book argues that all that clutter, it really impacts our ability to focus on what matters, to be productive, to be creative. It's like if your mind is constantly being pulled in a million directions by all that stuff, it's hard to be present.
Right, like how am I supposed to relax and enjoy my evening if I'm surrounded by piles of laundry and dirty dishes?
Exactly. And it's not just about relaxing. This book highlights how organization can actually boost your cognitive function. You get more mental clarity, you can process information better, you can even make decisions more effectively when you're not drowning in visual noise.
Okay, I am sold on the benefits. Less stress, better focus, more brain power. Sign me up. But where do we even begin? I'm looking around my apartment, and honestly, it's a little daunting.
I hear you. The book emphasizes starting small. Pick one drawer, one shelf, one corner of a room, whatever feels manageable, and don't try to do it all at once, just a little bit each day. The book even suggests using the 1 year rule.
Yet 1 year rule, remind me what that is.
If you haven't used something in a year, get rid of it. It's a pretty simple rule, but it can be really effective.
Easier said than done, right? I always get stuck on that, what if I need it someday thought.
I know, right? But the book has a good point about that. It says that often, that what if thinking comes from a place of fear, of scarcity. But think about it. If you really needed that thing, wouldn't you have used it in the past year?
That's a good point. And if I really did need it again, I could probably just borrow it or buy a new one.
Exactly. And chances are it wouldn't be that hard to replace. Letting go of stuff can be really liberating.
Okay, I'm willing to try. But what about sentimental items? Those are always the hardest for me to get rid of, like old photos, letters, things like that.
Totally. The book has a suggestion for that. Create a memory box, pick a few really special items that bring back strong memories, and put those in a special box. The rest, let it go.
I love that idea. It's like honoring the memories without letting the stuff take over my life. But okay, let's say we've tackled the physical clutter. What about our time and our schedules?
Yeah.
I am the queen of overcommitting.
Ugh, me too. The book is all about mindful scheduling. It's not about cramming more in, it's about being intentional. So using things like time blocking, saying no more often, and actually setting boundaries so you're not overscheduled.
I like the sound of that, but
Yeah.
saying no is so hard. Do they have any tips for that? Because I need all the help I can get.
Right. I think we all do. The book suggests thinking about why you say yes in the first place. Are you worried about disappointing people? Do you feel obligated? Or is it just like a reflex? Once you know why you're saying yes all the time, it becomes a little easier to start setting those boundaries.
That's really smart. I never thought about it that way.
Right. And then it's like, okay, once you've got that figured out, the book emphasizes making sure you're prioritizing your own needs and recognizing that saying no to some things actually gives you the space to say yes to things that really matter.
That makes a lot of sense. I definitely feel like I'm spreading myself too thin a lot of the time, and then I don't have the energy for the things I actually care about.
Totally. And, all of this ties back to that inner peace idea, right?
Yeah, I'm starting to see the connection. Less stuff, more time, more energy, more peace.
Exactly. And what about mental clutter? That never-ending to-do list, all those worries running around in your head. How do we declutter that?
Oh, tell me. My brain feels like a junk drawer sometimes. Too much stuff jammed in there.
Oh, well, the book actually has some great advice for that too. It talks about journaling to
Mm.
get all those thoughts out of your head and onto paper, which can be super helpful. And also things like mindfulness and meditation to quiet the mind, because sometimes it feels like there are like a million tabs open up there.
A million tabs. I love that analogy. Yeah, my brain definitely feels like that sometimes. So basically, it's all about creating space, right? In our physical space, in our time, and in our minds.
Exactly. And the book actually shares this really cool story about a woman who was dealing with a lot of anxiety and she felt overwhelmed by her super cluttered home. And as she started decluttering, not only did her physical space change, but she started to feel a lot calmer, more energetic. It was like a huge shift for her.
Wow. So it really can make a difference. It's not just about a tidy house. It's about a tidy mind and a more peaceful life.
That's what this book is arguing, yes. It's like outer order can lead to inner peace.
I love that. So basically, Declutter Your Life is about a lot more than just cleaning your house, right? It's about creating space for what really matters.
Totally. And that actually makes me think, if we can declutter our physical spaces and our schedules, what about other parts of our lives? Could we declutter our relationships, our digital lives, even our own thoughts and
Ooh,
beliefs?
that's a good one.
Yeah.
It's like taking that idea of decluttering and applying it to every aspect of our lives. What would that look like?
Right. Letting go of what's not serving us anymore, making space for what truly matters.
I like that. Something to think about. So for everyone listening out there who's feeling a little overwhelmed by clutter, remember, start small, be patient with yourself, and focus on the bigger picture. Maybe a more peaceful life really is just a few discarded items away. Until next time.
Happy decluttering.